Shalom everyone. How to avoid another Holocaust. You're not going to want to miss this program today. See, every year since 2005, on January 27, the international community remembers the Holocaust in various ways, from synagogue services to vigils to educational events that include Holocaust survivors or scholars, even though survivors are dwindling down to a few thousand globally by virtue of their age. They're like 90 years old and even older. Soon, they will all be in our memories. Or will they? Hey, by the way, if you appreciate my videos, please subscribe and give us this thumbs up. It really helps. Thank you. So, think about it. How tragic would it be if after all the survivors of the Holocaust were gone, the second-hand witnesses were silenced or simply stopped speaking up against the horrors of the Holocaust and the evil of anti-Semitism? What a tragedy that would be. And yet we are gearing towards that. We're going in that direction year after year. This year, there is a great sense of urgency since the tragic events that took place in Israel on October 7, 2023. As much as the new anti-Semitism has been a reality for decades, the events of October 7th have pushed Jew hatred on the forefront of current events, not only in Israel, but also all around the globe. There's no question that the weed of anti-Semitism has grown exponentially since October 7, to the point of choking the truth about Israel and the Jewish people. Can this weed be killed? Can the truth be restored? I believe that 3 steps are involved in that process. The first thing is we need to learn the truth. This is a very important step in the age of fast information or fake information. The more sophisticated we are with technology, the more risk we are taking with the veracity of the information we are fed. With the advent of ChatGPT and artificial intelligence, truth is being challenged from many vantage points. Add to that the fact that we live at a time when people are not as interested in historical facts as much as they were maybe 2 or 3 decades ago. And you get a narrative that can easily become very destructive, and of course not based on facts at all. It is becoming very important to rely on resources that were published prior to 2020, just to be safe regarding data that could have been altered, created by ChatGPT and or artificial intelligence. When it comes to comprehensive works on Israel's history and anti-Semitism, just want to give you a couple of tips here. Here are a few recommendations, and I'll put the links in the description as well. A Lethal Obsession, Anti-Semitism from Antiquity to the Global Jihad by Robert Wistrich. Excellent piece of work. The History of Anti-Semitism, volumes 1, 2, 3, and 4 by Léon Poliakov. The Anguish of the Jews, a classic by Edward Flannery. A History of Israel from the Rise of Zionism to Our Time by Howard Sachar. In the Case Against BDS, Why Singling Out Israel for Boycott is Anti-Semitic and Anti-Peace by Alan Dershowitz. So these are all good books to consider for your library. Now, the next point is teach the truth. As critical as it is to learn the truth, people often acquire a lot of knowledge and do very little to share that knowledge. Advocacy isn't only demonstrated in the actions we take, but it is also shown in the words we speak. Every voice matters, especially the voices of those who care about the truth. See, the younger generation doesn't really know how to think anymore. They rely on sound bites and videos, most of them only a few seconds in length, to learn about anything. How can you do that? Gone are the days when people watched a documentary that was an hour and a half. Now they view a short on YouTube. Gone are the days when people read books of 500,000 pages. Now they read a 1-sentence meme online, and it's supposed to do the job. It's impossible. These quick informational snippets are also shared by the millions almost instantaneously on multiple platforms. People are losing interest in gathering pertinent information or just any topic. And as a result, they will also soon lose the ability to do so, and they will not have any tools or weapons to defend the truth at some point. We are going from the information age to the disinformation age rapidly and with little resistance. It is on us to take the time to share what we learned with our children, grandchildren, co-workers, schoolmates, neighbors, and anybody else willing to listen and learn. Knowledge of the truth and how to share it will lead to wisdom. Now, great theologian and man of God, Charles Spurgeon, once said, and I quote, "Wisdom is the right use of knowledge. To know is not to be wise. Many men know a great deal and are all the greater fools for it. There is no fool so great a fool as a knowing fool, but to know how to use knowledge is to have wisdom." Close quote. Now, the last point is to defend the truth. How do you defend the truth? That's the last point. You've learned the truth and you've committed to teaching it to others the best you can, and that's a good start. But now we must put our knowledge into action, and that will include decisions to support or boycott certain organizations, people, or programs. And that's something that we need to really consider. The Boycott, Divestment, and Sanction movement, the BDS movement, which was reborn in 2005, constantly promotes the boycott of anything Jewish to cripple the Israeli economy and hopefully force Israel to stop the occupation of Palestine and the killing of innocent Palestinian victims. Quote, end quote. It is time to double our efforts and do exactly the opposite. Go to their websites at bdsmovement.net and support as much as you can from their own list of what to boycott academically, culturally, or economically. Now, the lists are on their site, and they have done all the homework for us. Additionally, there are several apps on different platforms that will give you the ability to scan a barcode and tell you if you should boycott it or support a brand based on their support of Israel. Such an app, for instance, from BDS proponents is called Belzamesh, which is free on Apple and Google. Now, if you use that app, remember that we who love and support Israel and want to support the economy need to do the opposite of what the app recommends. But it will let you know the origin of products, and that's very, very helpful. Beyond learning, teaching, and defending the truth, we must understand that October 7 has brought an existential crisis to the Jewish world. We have reached a point of no return as it pertains to the momentum anti-Semitism is gaining every day. Anti-Semitism will not cease. Let me repeat that. Anti-Semitism will not cease. It will only increase, at least until Messiah, Yeshua, returns and reigns in Jerusalem from the throne of David. Yet we must continue to advocate against it and commit to rescue and protect those affected by it. It is time, today, right now, it is time for Christians across denominations to unite and redeem the past. Our Jewish friends are once again at risk, physically. The danger is global and exponential. Doing nothing will increase the risk of another Holocaust. And even though God promised never to forsake Israel or allow for its total destruction, as we read in Jeremiah 31, 35 through 37, the 1930s and 40s saw the decimation of 6 million Jews in Europe, my maternal grandfather included. And that risk is back today. This January 27th, on International Holocaust Memorial Day, why don't you take the time to call your Jewish friends, neighbors, co-workers, or even family members and tell them that you have their backs. Tell them that as you remember the Holocaust, you will do everything in your power to make sure another one doesn't happen on your watch. I understand that the Bible speaks of great turmoil coming to the Jewish people in the future during the time known as the Great Tribulation, or the time of Jacob's trouble. But let's seize the day and redeem the past now, lest we become the new bystanders of today. I am convinced that we can make a difference before the tribulation starts, which means that we can reach out to our Jewish friends before the rapture that will occur before the tribulation. We do it because of the gospel of Yeshua and including the gospel of Yeshua, one Jewish soul at a time, praying that we can lead our Jewish friends to their Messiah. So this Holocaust International Memorial Day on January 27th, be in prayer and talk to your Jewish friends and tell them how much you love them and that you have their back. Until next time, shalom and be blessed.